Hey, I'm Brian Miller, magician and motivational speaker. If you're a regular subscriber, thanks so much for sticking around, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do a Q&A. Even though this is a small channel, I've already started to get questions from viewers just like you down in the comments section of YouTube. I'm getting messages over on my Facebook fan page. I'm getting messages and comments on Instagram and emails. So today I'd like to address a question that comes from Jesse Esquivel. Jesse writes, "Hello Brian, thanks for your vlogs." You're welcome, Jesse. They are very informative and motivational. I would appreciate your help. Since you travel so much, you must keep your magic show compact. Okay, Jesse's a magician. What tricks or routines do you use that pack small for your large audiences? Also, what compact case do you carry them in? Thanks again, Jesse. Jesse, thanks so much for your questions. I'm going to do my best to answer some of them, although maybe not all of them here in this vlog today. The question is, as a magician, how do you carry stuff that's small tricks that play to large audiences? So if you guys are familiar with my work, you've seen some of my promotional videos or seen me bouncing around doing various shows. This shirt's just a little bit too tight. Does anybody else think this shirt's just a little bit too tight on me? I'm having problems here. If you're familiar with my work at all, you see that I actually work for some fairly large audiences, anywhere from 100 or 200 people up to 1,000 or 1,200. I've done my show in its current form in front of 1,500, and this coming weekend, I'm going to be doing it in front of, I think, more than that. So I'd like to start with Jesse's last question first, which was, what compact case do you carry it all in? Because this is a little bit more of a general question that's not as specific to magic and magicians that I think almost anybody can get something from. The first case that I used was this case. This is one of a 5-piece luggage set from Kohl's, Target, Walmart. It is a small case that is meant for the carry-on, to go in the overhead bin on any airline. When I first started flying to shows, that first year I still really wasn't making it. I mean, I was making enough money to like survive, but some months I had to kind of choose between paying my rent and affording food, and usually I paid my rent and then I didn't quite have as much food, and I'm a pretty skinny dude and I lost a lot of weight from what I am right now. But the point is that when I first started traveling, I didn't have the funds to be getting all kinds of nice gear that made it easy to travel with. So my entire show, my entire magic show, and all my clothes and all my necessary and essential items that I needed to travel with and perform with went in this bag and one normal sized, backpack that I've had since college. So it was a great learning experience for me packing everything into this small bag when I first started traveling, because what I realized is you can do a show for a lot of people with a very small amount of stuff. You really don't need that much to do a magic show. Which is contrary to what I thought growing up. When I used to go see David Copperfield and magicians who have big, huge boxes and giant fans and colorful props and all these huge things that looked impossible that I could ever have, a show like that. And I don't. I still don't have a show like that. And I've never needed a show like that. In case you were curious, what I now keep in here is just like assorted random magic stuff, including a lot of red clown's noses. Okay. Were those your cards? This was what I started with, Jesse. And if you are just starting to travel, especially if you're gonna fly and you're trying to figure out what you can bring with you, I suggest the best thing you do is pick a case that is the right size for whatever type of travel you're doing with. If you're driving, you can throw a lot of stuff in the car, but if you're flying, pick a case that, if you're gonna check it, is the right size for checking it. If you're going to carry on with it, is the right size for carry on. And then you have to decide what you can put into your show based on what fits in your case. The rule is, I decide the case first, and if it doesn't fit in the case, it doesn't go in my show. That's it. That's the box, right? If it doesn't fit, it doesn't go in the show. There are a lot of really, really nice magic tricks, amazing illusions and big boxes and colorful things with lights and sound. There's a lot of great stuff, but it doesn't fit in my case, so I don't bring it with me. So that's what I was using. These days, I use a checked case. I can afford to check a bag now. So I have one checked case, and I don't have that out. Let me go get that. And this is the case that I travel with now. This case is virtually indestructible. Did I even go to college? This case is virtually indestructible. There have been tests done among all the really serious pieces of luggage to see how well they withstand, rough handling and TSA and baggage handlers and things like that. This case survived having a car dropped on it in one test. And I've got a crack in it. And it's got a lot of space in it. It's got good handles. It's got the telescoping handle. I never say that right. It's got the telescoping handle, which means I can put another bag on it and push everything with it. And all around it, but it's got a lot of space inside of it, but it's not huge. And even if you carry a much bigger case, you're still bound by the 50-pound limit for checking one bag on an airline, right? You check one bag, you get 50-pound maximum. This case, when I travel with it, weighs 49.5 pounds on the dot because it can't weigh 50. What comes with me on the plane? You've seen this in an earlier video, but this is my Samsonite under the seat carry-on. This bag was a game changer for me because for a long time it fit under every single airline, under the seat, which means instead of a backpack, I could take this bag. It has a huge amount of pockets and storage space, pockets on the sides, pockets here, pockets within pockets. It's got a big, huge space that most people would use as an overnight bag. More importantly, it's got two wheels and the telescoping handle, so this can be wheeled through any airport instead of having to be on my back or a sling across. And of course, it can go on here, like that. So this, for the last 2 years, has not only been my under the seat bag on a plane to carry a bunch of my personal items, but on stage, this is my prop case. Brings me to this shirt is too tight. One of the biggest lessons I learned in packing for a magic show, especially when you're flying, is that every single item has two purposes. This is my under the seat, carries a lot of personal stuff, carries a bunch of my necessary props for magic on the plane, but it also becomes my prop case on the stage. And I've got all the things I need in a prop case built into it. This bag was actually... That was the doorbell. I think that's my new camera. Should I go check it? I should go check it. Ah! Okay, in this box is my new camera. It's a small one, it's a point and shoot for my upcoming travels to Asia. I want to open it right now, but I need to finish this video, so my reward for getting through this video succinctly, instead of rambling on like I tend to do, is that I will then get to open this. So here we go. This bag is intended, it's a gator cases, which means that this bag is actually intended for a guitarist's pedal board. That's what this is for. Well, I don't bring a pedal, actually, I do bring a pedal board with me because I do the live looping in the magic show, but this is not what carries my pedal board. I have a different case that carries my pedal board. What does this carry? My tabletops. And there's a screw here, which goes into the tripod. This is something from the show. Magicians may know what this is. Whiteboards for the show. McDonald's hat for the show. And my other tabletop. Like I said, everything has two purposes. So the tabletops get protected by this bag. Tabletops, a few magic props. Tabletops, some magic props. My tabletops, some magic props, and my whiteboards, and this hat for whatever reason. I have a weird show. They all go in here, so they get protected, and this goes inside here. It fits perfectly in there. But on stage, this sits behind my prop case on the floor. It's actually propped up by my prop case. And inside of it, I have a handful of props that I need to get to quickly at a moment's notice during the show. So, two purposes, right? One item, two functions. When it comes to packing, everything, if possible, should serve at least two purposes. If you have one thing, some box that only serves one purpose, it's kind of a waste of space. you have to think about that. Oh, and in case you're curious, these tabletops, right? This top right here and this one here, they were built for me to my specifications, and each of them goes on this tripod. And then I have one table for my prop case. I have one table for my main performance table that I can use when I have a spectator with me, or if I need to put props down during the show, or I'm doing the cup and ball routine, anything like that. Now, I keep mentioning that I had this stuff built for me, custom made. That's because I have money to do that now, right? When I was younger, when I was just getting started in the business, I didn't have money to have things custom made. So I did what I could with what I had. Everything went in here. When I got to a venue, I borrowed tables from the venue. If I needed a chair, I borrowed it from the venue. Now I can have stuff made for me that suits my exact specifications of what I'm looking to do with my show. So I guess that's the answer to your last question, what do you pack stuff in? I have a feeling this is going to end up being a really long video, and so I'm going to call this part 1. What do I pack stuff in to have a compact show that travels with me? I hope that this gave you a general sense of what you're looking for. It's just my solution. It doesn't have to be your solution or anybody else's. What's important is that it works for you, but you have to take into consideration weight requirements, size requirements. Are you willing to pay to check a bag? Are you willing to pay to check 2 bags? Most airlines, it's $25 for the first bag, $35 for the second bag. Fundamentally, most important takeaway from this video is choose what you can bring first. In other words, choose the containers, the cases, the luggage, choose that first, and then anything you're thinking about putting in your show and everything you're thinking about putting in your show has to fit into those cases. No exceptions. It seems like it would be really limiting to do it like that you would be losing an opportunity to bring a bigger prop that might play to a larger audience. But instead of being limiting, it turns out it's really creatively liberating when you realize you have to do more with less. You have to play bigger with smaller props. And with that, I think I'm going to end this video. But I will do a part 2, hopefully in the near future, when we will go into the types of tricks that I choose. It's a harder question for me to answer on my main YouTube channel here because it's much more specific to magicians, and I really don't want to be talking too much about the magic tricks and the magic props because I don't want to be giving away the secrets for people who are not magicians who watch this channel. Maybe I'll do a part 2 that is just on the magic forums where no mages and muggles don't hang out. Jesse, thanks again for your question. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any more questions or comments, put them down in the YouTube comments section. Of course, you can find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, @bmillermagic. Send me a message over there, leave me a comment, shoot me an email through my website, brianmillermagic.com. I love to hear from you. I want to be able to create content that is helpful to you, that answers questions that you have in your journey through life or through magic. So thanks very much, guys. Have a great day. By the way, we are moving, and that's why this place looks like a disaster area. That's for me. I don't know what just happened there. Water? Skittles? Crap, now I need to finish this before I keep talking.